refreshed myself on the Zeno Clash.
Yeah, it is.
Story a little bit. Watched some of about half of the cutscenes in the second game and a quick paragraph on the first one that you. I remember who the Golem guy is and the outside world and stuff like that. They leave off for like a lot, and all of them, almost all of them, land on some kind of like either cliffhanger, or just like not anything crazy big, like having. Like for sure happened, or is going to happen. Like the second game ends with both of the golems getting killed. But I mean, he's clearly in this one, unless it's one of the replacements. What's up, Sam?
Oi! Where do you think you're going?
Wherever we want to.
That way's Corwid territory, you bloody Tefs. Corwid of the Free.
I know what a Corwid is.
Do you know they don't follow the one law? Do you know they don't respect any tradition? Do you know that in fact, they don't follow any logic at all? They just do whatever they want, even if it kills them. Walk forever in a straight line? Sure.
Oh yeah, the
Only
webcam.
things that end in Y? Why not? Make puppets out of people's skin and perform plays for the Wrathbirds? Oh, that's fine. That's just what he does.
We should be going.
Do you think we put up all those fortifications for nothing? The Corwid are insane. And their
Formative
insanity is a
real.
bloody insult to every person trying to live a decent life in Xenozoic.
Did someone you know become a Corwid?
I don't. Yes, my brother. He said the only purpose in life is to be yourself, and only the Corwid are truly themselves. Still took my father's great shield artifact though. Could have changed my life, that thing. But no, he wanted it, so he took it. That's a Corwid for you. Don't go, strangers. It's not worth it.
Of course, he mentions the great artifact. Somebody beating up his brother. He just dropped. I'm trying to beat this today, I think. I'm at a point where I don't even know if I care about like finding every little thing. I mean, I'm not fully upgraded, so I probably should. And I'd like to see if there's any, hidden armor bits and shit. It's got a dude's face. The double. Like I don't need any like smalls, and I just need the greats.
This place makes my feathers itch.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to do that. Only these things were on streaming. That'd be funny.
Huh.
It might be for all we know.
Itchy.
Maybe it's gonna be a big joke. It's got the goose, man. Can't be bad.
He's going to kill the pigeon. You're not supposed to do that.
The Corwood don't care.
But I care. We have to do something. Please, Pseudo.
All right. Hey, friend.
I make the pigeon blood.
How about you let the pigeon go?
I make the pigeon blood.
I understand you're a Corwood. But maybe you can make an exception. For the boy?
I make the pigeon blood.
I see where this is going.
The grab. Boys down here are meaty. I don't know the Kim's Convenience game, but it's got the goose. I don't even know who Barbie's supposed to be. Like the actor. I know who Barbie is. Oh yeah, didn't they just... Maybe they didn't just announce it, but... I heard that John Cena was in. Don't know who that's gonna be. I don't know the Barbie lore. I only know Ken and Barbie. Maybe he's gonna be the guy that slaps Barbie's ass at the at the bar, and Ken's gonna have to make a big choice. The fuck am I going? Yeah, I feel like it could be like a fun shit post because they're like, hey, we're making a Barbie movie, which is already a goofy idea. Or it could be the most cringy, hateable thing ever. Would be fun.
Locked. I'll crush you this time. Ah!
Well,
The earth will consume you.
these weapons are like bad, man.
I'll make you regret.
I do more damage with my fists. Easily.
Done.
Yeah, I might still go out to eat, but I think I might try to do it later. Get this done before tonight. I really don't like the moveset for Mammoth Man. I couldn't say. I mean, this is the last artifact we're after. And then the idea is that we would go fight Gemini and her cronies. And I can't imagine if they surprise us with some more, I can't imagine it'd be a lot. But I feel like with a lot of Ace Team games, they always end up being a little longer than you'd like. Like Eternal Cylinder was like a cool concept for a while, and then kind of the
Look what I found.
that lack of polish or just the repetition of what was going on kind of got to you because the game just was fucking too long. So who knows? I think we're getting there with this game. Similar feel. Not quite, but.
It's locked from the other side.
We'll have to see.
Spurtweed. Watch out.
Next probably be a little FF14 for like a day or something. I got free 4 days, and I figure I might as well do it with well, there's a holiday event going on. After that, we'll have to see though. Yeah, other options. I don't think there was a Game Pass thing. It's probably gonna be Returnal. To get on an okay sleep schedule, we'll do like EO4 probably. Yeah, Returnal. I should probably do System Shock. I'll do Jagged Alliance. I was gifted a long time ago. System Shock remix coming out. Do not want to fight whatever that is yet. Like this better because it's so much faster. I just roll with it anyways. I'm gonna get my potions back and then we'll fight him. How many goddamn areas, man. A lot of this is like nighttime shit too.
Locked.
Like 50,000 closed areas. Bunch of non-closed areas. I got no idea, man. Spots so come in at night. Thing is, I'm like losing interest in doing all the night shit, man. Like I am still interested, but I'm definitely not feeling the draw as much because I mean a lot of it's just the same. Where is a campfire, dude? Have to go all the way back to the beginning of this area. Like I said, at the end of the day, you end up just coming over every area just twice. And there's some changes, sure, but the thing is, usually the nighttime reward is just for its own sake. It makes your nighttime better. Taps me. Where is the fucking heal points, man? Went through this entire forest, man, without finding anything. Yeah, the maze-like nature of every fucking area, too, man. Good God, man. Kind of level design gets a little old, man. In an action game. Getting impatient. Really? What the fuck, that knife is?
I got you.
Thank you, Pseudo.
Here's a camp. Yeah, I would say if there's a problem other than the tedium of like the level design, it's like there's not a lot of landmarks or anything. A lot of the time you're just like stuck in an endless maze of like somewhat similar to see like visually stuff, and like the rewards are like okay. I mean they're like it tends to just be, you know, a fight or like, you know, a little piece of nighttime something or other, just like a way through. I mean, obviously you get figurines, which feels good. I mean, that, I was giving the game credit for that earlier. The rewards are nice because you need them, but as soon as you stop needing them, or as soon as the tedium, I feel like it gets to be too strong. And maybe you don't care as much. I don't know. Maybe all that's bullshit. I'm just thinking about it because like it's still a good time. It's still fun. Maybe it's repetition. The areas are so maze-like. Pretty much 24/7. They're always kind of feel the same because of that. What is through here? Like in some ways it's fun to go through like a really confusing area and find your shortcuts and this and that, but look like I walked past that, I guess not. What other arms do we got? I think it just depends on how often. Yeah, these are upgrades. At least damage wise. It's not like there's a whole lot of different ways you actually traverse the world either. Very dense. Maze-like world where you're pretty much what you've done in the beginning of the game is what you're doing at the end of the game. I think that's where the combat maybe has problems, is there is variety, but there's not much need to like diversify, and because of the upgrade system you can't really. A lot of the stances feel like they kind of play in a very similar way too. Maybe your speed's gonna be a little different, but that's kind of cool. I think overall the combat's good, but it's a cool kind of like dodge back. Leave a little counter there. Your training is complete. Find all specialists. Oh. Yeah, there must not be an S. Anyways, I'm just trying to explain like maybe why I'm like kind of a little less patient with it here. I think also it's one of those games where if you do try to find all of the things, there's an absolute shitload. Oh, all the rock dragons. I didn't even bother. There's an absolute shitload. Oh, there's nightmare versions of stuff. Yeah, there's a shitload of things to find. Nightmare moon sun. Nightmare Gemini. Nightmare moon sun. Where the fuck is that at? Highest point in Salt Marshes, Corwood. $28 body parts for the night avatar. 11 out of 28. Yeah, I've probably missed a lot. That's the thing, is I've been trying to be pretty thorough. I've been cutting myself off a little bit because problem with like being ultra thorough all the fucking time, it's like it's the point where you're just kind of doing it for its own sake, not because the act of actually exploring anymore is like that fun. I want to go back into town at night and see if we could find the nightmare version. Because we just beat Moon Sun, I think. Or was Moon Sun the other guy? I hate this shit. I hate they don't show you what you've earned without having to like pop all the way out. Main quest 96%. Oh. Who was Moon Sun? Oh, this guy. There's a nightmare version of him. To fight him, I'd have to go all the way back. I'm good. Nightmare Gemini, too. I mean, that's the fucking big boss. Unless there's a post game, then. I don't know, and I don't know how to remedy that exactly. I mean, obviously just the process of like running around exploring. Obviously there could be more going on, right? They do try to like every here and there. Like it doesn't always feel like it's the same visually. Like even in the marsh or whatever, like it would be dense and then it'd be more open, but like the way you traverse it, the kinds of big like landmark where there's actual stuff going on, those tend to be pretty samey. Like there's not gonna be anything fancy in this forest, right? It's just gonna be like a fight or two. Down here. Open a checkpoint. Guessing this is so I can go up here later. In the daytime. I think a lot of it's like, I mean, the nighttime stuff, right? You're running through essentially a maze twice. Might be things you have to do in daytime or nighttime. And it's neat, but I don't know, like I said, the act of it and the reward at this point in the game, I think will wear off a bit. I guess. Honestly, I'm having fun. It's a weird one to kind of explain. We'll see by the end if I put it better where it is. And there's part of that jank and just crudeness of it that I find kind of almost endearing as well. It feels more old school, I suppose you could say. Oh, this is Nightmare Moon Sun. He's just here. Even if you went by the trophy list, you'd think he'd be back up where we found him, but no, he's just hanging out, dude. Middle of this forest for no reason. I mean, I suppose they could make it like easier in a way. And then it would get kind of like a AAA checklisty though. They kind of give you more of like a hint where like some of the pieces are you're looking for, like a little radar, like a. They give you a noise during the night. The nighttime, not so much. So, I mean, I kind of like that it's difficult on that front, but the problem is like. You're coming over every inch, over and over and over. Some of these body parts aren't even really that worth it. It adds on a huge amount of game time. Nice. I need more of those for sure. What we got over here? Oh, bone-skinned legging. 2 and 3. I don't even know what we had before. That's. I'm sure this is an upgrade. It's not like you could have yourself swap from day to night on the fly. Seems like it'll be a shop. There's an elevator around here somewhere. around. Where was it? It was right here. This will lead to the mountains. That'll open a shortcut, I suppose, but kinda need it to be daytime. Well, we did a bunch of stuff. I guess I can just press wake up. At the very beginning. Oh yeah, we got new shit. North leg armor 2 and 5. 1 and 5. You'd assume the north stuff is the best. We ran around at night, we ran out of day. What more can we do? Yeah, we'll see. If I stay up late enough, we could maybe do some Columbo tonight. Godo was gonna do RE0, but watch Columbo, I watch that. But I want to finish this game before I do either of those things. Depends how tired I am, and I'm gonna go out for food. This is story. Yeah, him just moving does half my health. XP for that guy. That's what I thought, but I don't think we did. We level up? Maybe. Wouldn't hurt to open up these side paths. The thing is, because you'd have no way on Earth to know whether or not you've I need 3 level 4s for box. Yeah. Special. Stance figure. Thing is, if I don't prowl enough, I'm not gonna find those. Yeah, it's cool. Maybe we can open up all these shortcuts to just run around the entire world or whatever, but it's like, where would you even begin to find everything, right? Like, you'd have to just recomb over everything again. I mean, most likely for the stuff you're really after, you're gonna check over later game areas like this, but assuming this is late game. I mean, I found some of these things just up asses before, pretty much.
Pseudo, if you could have feathers or fur, what would you pick?
Fur.
Why? Feathers are nicer.
To annoy you.
Like, the little bits of dialogue are fun, but they're so, like, random or whatever, that they just feel fucking bizarre. He'll just start a conversation, like, very rarely out of the blue. Sometimes the conversation will just stop, or be about something serious. I don't know. There's just something about it. And I feel like maybe that's part of the point, is just to feel... You can never tell in these games, I feel like, if it's supposed to be, like, bizarre, or just... if it's just a product of, like, jank. Or, like, weird execution. The voice acting is much better in this one than the others, though. It's cool. Yeah. And the Thorn Man. Foggy. Shebang. Not been looking for the figures as much as I used to. I mean, the gameplay of finding figures is just running against them all and spamming R1 constantly. Which, I mean, yeah, it's good they're not always in chests, but on the flip side, they don't stand out enough. You're generally gonna be spamming most of the time anyways. Or you're just gonna want to be moving past. Oh shit. 4 aggressiveness, 3 constitution. I don't really scale with aggressiveness at all. There's not much point. A combat stand. Great figurine. Probably skipped out on a few of these areas when I didn't notice or shouldn't have. I'd really like to upgrade boxer stance to max as well. It doesn't do as much damage, but like more fun than mammoth. It's easier to use, I'd say too, which does count for something. A small figurine at this point, man. Thank God you could just wake up wherever you want, though. That'd be fucking unholy if you couldn't. Where am I? Trying to drop a bridge. It's nearby. Okay, here it is. No, I could
Zeno,
run.
if you had feathers on your head, you could sleep on them. Like a pillow.
I could pluck you and make a pillow.
Bad pseudo. So mean. I can do it.
It's like I could just move on. But since you can explore both areas and there's generally rewards for it, like this
I
stuff,
found something.
it makes it, oh, then you get something that's whatever. You know, it's like, do I just want to go back to everything and double check? they put an incense burner down here. But like, who cares? Is that all that's down here? It's so odd. You can't use incense burners at night. The only thing over here during the day was that. I should just full explore at night. I'm gonna ever pick a time of day, really. Well, then you miss all the human fights, or NPC fights. I don't know what you want to call them. I think you get more out of nighttime since you generally don't get like hard blocked out of places in the day. And it seems like there's more like night-only chests.
It's locked from the other side.
Coming back. Maybe I'm supposed to get there another way. Thing is, you don't know how fucking far in advance you're gonna need to end up going to unlock some of these. It might be like right now. Might be like way later. Okay. Definitely later. Got a whole Blighttown thing going on. Oh. Hold on. Hawkins stance isn't even scaling anymore with that. There's a bug. But it's still going with Mammoth stance. I was like, maybe we've hit some kind of soft cap. Or hard cap, which would be fine, but insta-kill plane. That looks like totally something you could do. Like a little secret area. same guy.
Finally.
Just clip right through. Why not? They're still getting artifacts, but they generally don't even prompt you. I mean, the Corvids never would. They don't follow the law or whatever, but in a lot of the
it
other
looks
areas.
very mean.
And a lot of the other areas, they'll just instantly fight too. What the?
I'll go check it out.
Press R1 and it started climbing right here in the middle. Even though it was a scavenge.
Look
A little
what I found,
janky.
Pseudo.
Looks like I could drop down there. Thing is, if I did... Okay, I think you could stand there because there's an enemy. Like the bird kid has like different clothes he can wear, and I don't know if it's just for dialogue or if it actually like matters. Like I'll equip the clothes that make sense for him, but like, does he just fight more then, or I can't tell if he even has a, it even does something or not. Which is for fun. I mean, thing is, I had cold protection too, but I couldn't even tell if there was a point where there's cold shit. The only time they mentioned the cold was at the very top of the troop area, which was essentially just a boss right afterwards. So. I feel like the weapons are like worse.
Good.
Alright. Get more greats. Stance ones. Lish. And one stance figurine. I get a lot of stun too. Damn it. On level 4 on special. Excuse me, I was calling them incense burners, figure burner. It makes sense to be incense burner. I like the speed.
Finally.
With boxer, I just like that. I want to get another stance thing. Even though this is gonna have like less damage, I feel like I'd rather use it. More fun. Just depends. The when and the where. I'm also playing way less careful. I'm thinking a lot less. Now that we can kind of just down a lot of these dudes.
Good.
That's what I mean. We went from the mushroom area, no, the barricade area, which wasn't very long, into mushroom area, into the bog area, into like this vertical kind of scaffolding area. So there is variety of areas for sure. It's more just the level design itself. Always gets more of a similar feel. Yeah, the difference between the stances is a bit more subtle too. When I say I like the feel of the boxer one more, not that it plays like that different. It's just it feels a little different. A little bit of speed.
Strangers! Welcome to the only truly free place in Xenozoic.
You have a great shield artifact.
I do. It belonged to my father. Treasured it because it kept him safe. I do not treasure it, and so I am free.
So, if you don't treasure it, could I have it?
No, no, I need it. If I don't have it, I cannot not treasure it, and then I will not be free. But I will fight you for it.
Oh, do you follow the ritual?
Yes! They all reject it, but I'm not like them. I'm special. They all think they're free. But I'm more free than any of them.
Alright then, let's play.
Let's play, bro. Ugh. Sounds like the worst. Hope we win.
These dice are forfeited. They must be consumed.
That's not a rule.
No, these are bad rules. I will make it new. I will make it all new. Fresh and clean and free. Good game. Good game. I win. You surrender.
Sorry, but I don't play by your rules.
Only my rules. Only my rules. Good game. Good game, you cheat.
Pseudo?
I know.
Okay. Guess we're not doing any gaming.
Bad game, you cheat.
These people make me sad. They're free, but they're
Crazy?
lonely. Each in his own world. And they can't ever be anything else. They can't change. Do you think we could help them?
I don't think they want our help. That's it. I have 4 great shield artifacts. I can take on Gemini.
Pseudo, are you sure? I don't want you to get hurt.
Do you want to stay with me? No more adventures, no more looking for someone to take care of you? We go home. We live.
Yes, that's what I want.
Then I have to finish this.
I hope this game ends with another pseudo cliffhanger. Oh, pseudo. Funny. Only the Zeno Clash games where it feels like they're not maybe full cliffhangers, but like there's something there. I'll have to fight another dude, man.
Everybody always hiding.
Okay, that counts as an autosave. Okay. Why was he right after the boss room? I don't know. I guess you could have skipped them. Or can you? Was they after the boss room just for fun? Oh wait, what's this? Alright. So I don't think the Gemini thing would probably be the end, but it might be close to it. Just because they introduced the North Column guy again. There might be some shit I missed down here. I'd like to think they'd probably want to do something with that. Maybe. Maybe.
Pseudo, did you ever have a pet?
I have you.
I'm not a pet.
You sure? I feed you, I protect you, I carry you around. Sounds like a pet to me.
You carry me around because you're my beast of burden. Like a donkey.
Donkeys have scales.
I said like a donkey. You never listen. You know who else never listens?
Let me guess. Donkeys?
Exactly.
I do like the shit more. Oh, head back. We have to head to the bottom left of the map. Gotta walk the whole way. Kinda like we have to walk back after everything. There's plenty of checkpoints and like, what's the word? Shortcuts and stuff. But I feel like maybe the reason I don't know if the reason you walk back after everything and only warp one time is to make it feel more like you're traveling the world, right? You have to kind of manually go everywhere, or if it's like to pad it, or to feel the beauty of how travel the world somehow. Like, I don't find it a big deal, but I feel like a lot of people would feel different. I would not be surprised.
Sometimes I dream that you get up in the night and you look all funny. And you wander under the stars, sometimes for miles and miles. And you're you, but you're not just you. Because there are many strange worlds. And none of us are just one thing. It's a funny dream.
Isn't that what he does? Or is that the kid imagining it? Yeah, we killed your brother or beat him up. Okay. TPHD, that's a good time. After you talked about after you asked me there, I was gonna do a Zelda marathon. Not gonna lie, I've definitely had a bit of a hankering. Yeah, TP's fun.
Here will make you a good deal.
Nothing else here. The Dezoya. Yeah, it's fun stuff. So.
Good roads, clear skies.
Make to break. Break to make. Everything's a paradox.
Rock mace. The prize of Musa. All targets with rocks. 18 pieces of armor. I don't even have half of the body parts for the night of it. 2.4% of people got them all. Shocking. Maybe Nightmare Gemini. Maybe Gemini is the final thing. Who knows?
Good journeys.
And we're going back. Not a bunch of shit, because we'll probably need it. We're gonna have to fight all of your guardians. We're gonna have to do like a lot of dice games. Yep. I mean, you could probably play most of the Zelda games on Wii U if you bought them on the shop. This game sucks. I'm enjoying it, but it's got its issues for sure. Yeah, that guy. He says that, that's for sure. Quite often. Yeah, I don't own Wind Waker HD or TP HD. In fact, the only version of TP I own is probably just the Wii one, yeah. I wouldn't hate owning the Wii U one, but wonder how cheap I could get it. So I don't like doing I mean, I've played it a bunch of times on the Wii, but I don't like playing it on the Wii after playing the HD one. Yeah, I would have to buy it from Gamefly. They probably don't even have it anymore. They probably sold those off. can't even rent it anymore. All these, they probably sold off all their copies. Or we're like, you know, maybe instead of letting somebody buy this for like 5 cents, we should sell it ourselves somewhere else. Yeah, I definitely think the luster of this game's worn off a bit, though. I think, kind of like Eternal Cylinder, maybe it's a little too long. Probably a little bit too much maze-like areas that all kind of feel the same to explore. I definitely like the feeling of the combat, and I like generally how it works. But since you have to kind of upgrade and like build, you don't really swap all that often or have like a need. And a lot of stances don't truly feel all that different effectively. I don't like that they scale with certain powers too. I'd almost feel like it'd be better just to have stances you could swap to on different buttons. And like a bunch of moves you could use with modifiers like they have it, and like you just kind of flat level up, and just it's more about the flow and stuff than it is really maybe raw stats and shit. Yeah, I still have fun with it, but yeah, there's a lot of systems at play, like an Eternal Cylinder, and a lot of them don't feel super well thought out. There's just a lot of them. And then usually for the length of the games, which I mean, both pretty lengthy, I think some of the faults start to show a little more. But we're near the end, I think. Still enjoying my time with it, but yeah. I mean, I like the combat better than Zeno Clash, but while those could sometimes be too long, I think they had a little bit tighter campaign. Obviously, the budget and stuff is nicer on this. Hordes. Yeah. God forbid an eShop that just sold the originals at a fair price.
Pseudo, how did you become such a good fighter?
I didn't have much of a choice. The world's not a nice place, little bird. You fight or you die.
Do you like it?
I'm good at it. And sometimes being good at something feels good, even if you don't want it to.
Oop, I didn't want to do that. I thought I was picking up an item. I just used my entire fucking special to one-shot him. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like at this point, Nintendo's realized they have a golden goose, if you will, in the form of reselling old games for very expensive prices with I don't know, a variety of different fucking predatory practices, right? Like why put out Wind Waker, you know, for 10-20 bucks on the store and make bank on something you don't have to really touch, because they've got in-house emulators they could use. Well, I'm sure they could just have Dolphin run on their fucking Switch. Why do that when you could do a Super Mario All-Stars thing for 60-70 bucks? And also do nothing but make way more money. And then you could do it again next generation, which they do already. It's none of the shops carry over. And now they've got the Switch Online thing going on, and it's like, well, that's not that expensive, you might say, but now they got the expansion pass. And it's like zero effort to put those games out, so You've entered the path to the final challenge, Gemini. There's no way back. Any future save checkpoints within the final challenge, you can always return to stored save. Oh, cancel. This is truly the end. They're not like just a quick checkpoint, man. There's loot I never grabbed.
Good.
I'm just looking for a save, man. Whatever, dude. I mean, we're fine. I guess. I came here planning on finishing up. Can you buy the, what all can you even buy on the Switch? Like, do they have retro games you can buy? I've never bought anything on there except like some DLC.
If we fight, I'll crush you. I don't care, but you might.
I have a great shield artifact.
I'll still crush you. Crushing's what I do. Let's do the ritual.
I know they have lots of indies, but did they give up on the retro games like they did with the Wii? Oh, you don't even have to play the game, dude. Give them the Dark Souls around the ass approach. This is the only place the FPS is just chugged, dude. I do rent games, yeah. If I can. It's not the only way I play games. I buy plenty. I use Game Pass. All sorts of ways to save money. You don't think you can actually buy retro?
One day, all my bones will be weapons. I will live in the battle. Come to leave. Leave.
I have to fight them all in a row? Seems like it.
Still silent, huh? Don't look so smug when you see what I brought.
I guess if you want to fight them legit, you can. I don't know why the fuck you'd ever want to do that. I forgot he respawns himself. What the? You're kidding me, dude. He can just throw you off the whole stage and insta-kill you? That's cheesy. Oh, they checked on you.
Still silent, huh?
Oh. I'm surprised. I thought we had to do the whole gauntlet. Okay, well that's the first time I've ever seen an enemy do that, ever. I guess this is the place for it. parry and everything.
Oh, now you talk.
All this time, Pseudo, I was guided by a philosophy. The truth of my silence. My compliance with Gemini.
It was better when you didn't talk.
But the lore. So there's just checkpoints. I should just let myself die. Oh yeah, I can prepare helpers. Might as well go in and try them.
I won't let you get to her. I won't let you destroy everything we built here.
Built?
We used the One Law like it was meant to be used. We imposed order on chaos. Without us, you'd be no better than the Corwids. And how do you repay us? How do you repay her?
I'm sorry that I have to shatter your delusions. I guess we all have stories we need to tell ourselves. But she shouldn't have tried to take my boy.
I invoke the One Law.
I'm guessing you could beat this game completely unhindered by pain by just going straight to the boss. That's probably the idea. Because you use the shield artifacts to give you like a chance here to just win. I'm guessing you don't have to. I'm guessing you could just go apeshit, maybe. Not that I ever got about at that. Boom. I can spend these skill points for getting enough XP. Can I go back?
Here we are again, on the very same spot where we first met. And you even brought the boy. This could all end so easily, you know? You just hand me the child, and I will let you leave.
You will never leave.
You understand that I have the artifact of pain, don't you? The prime artifact. I am the master of the ritual, and you've already spent your great shield artifact on my bodyguards.
Have I? Then what's this?
You found 4? Nobody's ever held 4.
You gave me no choice.
Choice? You think I had a choice?
I don't care.
I invoke the ritual. My ritual.
Ceremonial stick before the fight and it just one-shots you or something?
If I was healthy, if I was whole, I would never have been defeated. I would have ruled forever.
It was always too much power, too much greed. I am tired. I am so very tired.
Okay.
Let's go home. No.
We were home and now. Tough leather. That was there from the beginning. Well, at least we can make some more shit. Oh, he's awake at night now. Can I spend my XP? Seems like it. Really did. Where are we going, man? Are we back to town or something? Are they gonna have us all the way up north again? do something with the North Golem. That'd be quite the run, though. You're wondering how I would know. I mean, they literally don't let you walk anywhere that doesn't have a collar. Unless it was that one merchant. That'd be kind of funny. I haven't stopped by his place. Well, the merchant only wanted the kid. There's a thing here. Oh, I never saw this. And the Northern Golem was the one who said that the kid and him were doing some destiny thing. Looks like we're going to the east. Why? His brother, maybe? These like long runs across like 10 fucking gazillion miles, man. Always so interesting, man. I don't know why. You got your shortcuts and shit. An achievement for fighting the Nightmare Gemini. I wonder if that's what we're after, or if that's just hiding somewhere. Because it is technically night. I don't really care too much. We're in the last bits. It feels like it's the last bit. It's just a long run back. Whoops. I slipped. In our impatience, I've slipped. Sorry, we're like 2 feet back. Sprinting is fast, but I'm pretty sure dashing or guarding or dashing. It's dashing. It's not dashing in a traditional sense like you're doing it for speed, it's dodging. Dodging forwards. Yeah. This has always seemed like the fastest way to move. Certainly the most active. Spamming a button. Let's watch out for that corner. This is one of those where it could have been like the trail, it heads east, and then it kind of just shits us halfway up the mountain, and I don't think anything would be lost. There must have been something they really...
I told him I could protect him, and Caxton just took him.
Caxton. They must have been dead set on making sure you walked everywhere. Isn't Caxton one of the fucking golems? get to see the whole world.
Caxtay! You will not take my son! Do you hear me? You will not take my son!
This is about more than what you desire, Pseudo. You do not want to be alone. You want to have meaning in your life. I understand that better than you can ever imagine. If you knew how long I've waited. But we cannot act only for ourselves, like the Corwood of the Free. You know that the boy will never be safe in Xenozoic. There will always be another Gemini, another monster out to get his power.
And how are you any different?
Because I'm not one of you. I'm not interested in these endless fights for dawns. I want things to get better. And the people I serve, perhaps with the boy's abilities, they will make things better.
I don't care. I don't care about your grand plan. I don't care about Xenozoic or whatever the cack there is on the other side of the mountains. He's my son, and nobody gets to take him away. Not even you, Master. He needs me.
No, Pseudo. You need him.
Where's Lisa?
Face the truth. If you keep the boy, nothing will change. And eventually, you will grow old and weak. And you will lose him. But if you let him go, maybe one day there will be a future. For him and for all of us.
Are they gonna just hint at more Xenoclash lore?
Never.
So the idea is in Xenoclash that, I guess, is what I remember, a little bit I rewatched today, is that their Xenozoic is like in a sectioned off area of the world, a lawless area, and then there's like the ultra law areas around it or something, and the state they're in is kind of unknown, I guess, and there's these golems who are here to make sure nobody can leave, and that's these guys or whatever. So I guess things aren't going good out there either. I have no idea. They like kind of just talk about it a little bit, never all the way. This guy has been killed once. I guess he didn't actually die. Is this guy just gonna fucking pound the ground? That's it. Maybe we have to do a cutscene finish on him. The problem with this ground pounds is you can't fucking like dodge them, dude. You just get hit. Oh, we're just doing a fight where we just build up our juice. No, it's like an auto fight. I just got healed.
I am not giving up, Master.
Stay down, Pseudo.
Yeah, the owl. Stay down, Pseudo. Damage doesn't matter. I'll just go for hits, man. Maybe some of my potions give me victory juice.
I'm not letting you win.
Stay down, Pseudo. Please.
I much prefer this stance.
I promised I would never leave you.
Father, do you remember Word and how I healed him? And all the things he told us about? Cenozoic is sick, Father. And so is the world that Caxday comes from. I don't think he understands it, but things die when they are not connected. Like you almost died. When you were all alone. Before you found me.
I don't want to be alone again.
You won't be alone, Father. We are linked. Can't you tell?
How?
Because when I leave, you will hurt. And so will I. And then you will heal. And so will I. And you will remember me. And I will remember you.
You're just an experiment to them.
Maybe. But how will things change if there is no link between them and us? I can be that link. I think it will take a very long time. And it will be very difficult. And I'm very scared. But I can't keep running away forever. Father, can I tell you a secret?
Anything.
They didn't make the song. The melody was always there.
Couldn't they just take him? Gotta leave him here. Alrighty. Please look forward to Zeno Clash 50. The lore of the world moves forward by one more inch every game. Can I move? No. We'll let it roll here and then chit chat about what we thought of the game. Overall, though, it was decent. I think it's definitely got some issues. I think when it leaves, it's just gonna let us play again. Kind of like with Xenoclash 1 and 2, the world, how bizarre it is, and like what strings it together is kind of the interesting part. I think in the world design, they could have had more interesting interactions with the world, more cool stuff to do. I think for the world being kind of one of the big sells of the game, most of what you're doing in it, other than just looking at the visuals, is just in cutscenes. Like, otherwise you're just walking around, just beating people up and exploring areas the same way from beginning to end. I don't think they play in. I mean, there's like a cool little dialogue with him and the kid and all that stuff, and they do build up their relationship. Not bad or anything. But the overarching lore and shit, and how disjointed and odd it feels at times, man. Part of it's by design, because it's fucking Xenoclash. Part of it's like, probably feels like it should have been a bit smoother, but alright, let's see what goes on here and talk about other shit.
Y si la way más se como la van, oh my sense, oh man intense quel, that noise sense sequel, very much la
Throw it in the fire, man. I'm waiting for what this fire is for all game.
While there is no justice, there will be no law.
Oh my day. Okay. I know what happens in the next game, I guess. Yeah, just like Xenoclash 1 and 2, the story, like, in part very interesting, in part, can a story be jank? At times it feels disjointed. The flow between the events, like how long a scene goes, how they just cut the scenes off, stuff like that. Like it lends itself well to like the bizarre feel of it, but not so much for like actually telling like a clean story. There was good beats and stuff there, but yeah. I do wish a little bit more of the story was just in the exploration, just fleshing out Xenozoic a little bit. I mean, they probably do a better job of that, honestly, in the first few games. Most of Xenozoic is just empty landscapes, which is, I mean, not inherently bad, but there's like fucking, 30 people. There's like 10 people in the town, and then just like random goons that you just beat up everywhere else. I think they could have done a better job of making it feel like there's some civilizations like the first two, and all these different areas you might fuck around with and go to. But it looks good. It's definitely got more of a distinct art style than the first two, which are kind of just like a... I don't know what they ran on. I don't know if it was Source. What they did with the world design was fine, but yeah, the visuals, I mean, they're just kind of Didn't have like a crazy art style. It was mostly just, like I said, the design. This one's got more of like an art style going on. I don't think they always leverage it super well. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of landmarks or like civilization or interesting little areas you go to. There's a variety for sure in each quadrant of the map. You'll have like, 4 or 5 different visual styles, or more like 3 to 5, which is cool. But I mean, you walk into 1 minute of those areas, you've seen the whole thing. So I like that there's the visual of the nighttime thing is cool, the imaginary thing. Maybe that's the kid who's doing that. Maybe the kid's the nighttime person. He runs around and does shit. That could be what's implied there at the end. I mean, they carry over each other's resources and shit, though. Maybe that's just the gaminess we should think about. I'm not quite sure there. But, who knows, yeah. Usually it's cool enough. It's definitely more in the world design that the visuals would fail. Level design, I should say. Yeah, the voice acting's much better in this one than the old ones. And the guys that had a very distinct, fun voice, like the Golem, still do. So that's cool. I assume this is after the other 2 games. I don't think it's before. It should be after, but I don't remember all the details of Zeno Clash. They're all got some bizarre shit going on. They're mostly gameplay. There's like an hour of cutscenes or something in Zeno Clash 2. That's like at least a 6 to 10 hour game. Anyways. I do wish they'd kind of forward the plot a little bit, or at least hint at like some of the meaning behind some of the shit. I definitely don't need it spelt out, but it kind of feels like we're just like in a building block for another thing. But that's how the first 2 Zeno Clash games feel too. And those came out almost 15 years ago. So, building blocks and a like almost a 2-decade-old story. I don't think that's gonna thing. But anyways, the important part is the gameplay in this. At least the most important. This game, kind of like Eternal Cylinder, one of the other games, has a lot of systems. Systems you're pretty familiar with, probably. If you've played enough games. Sorry, distractions. It's got equipment and crafting and a little collectible finding, which is actually used to upgrade different abilities you can swap in and out, and like general fighting stances and stuff, which it all makes sense. They don't do a whole lot to kind of like kind of explain how a lot of these are gonna work, or are you gonna you don't have a whole lot of an idea how any moves you might get, how should you be building, how's the combat gonna really flow for the builds. Kind of just got to figure that out, and I like that aspect. But it also, I feel like, gives a feel of how to put it, that you're missing something inherent about the combat the whole way through, or that a lot of systems just don't matter. The whole, if you have some of your guard meter, you take 50% less damage, you parry better. I didn't care ever to even look. I was just aggressive and went crazy, and it just was fine. If you do want to play that way, you have to level up to even make those larger. The other problem is that all of your moves, your stances, your special skills, they scale with certain stats. So if you like a certain way of playing, and this isn't like some Elden Ring thing where there's like millions of things, right? There's like 8 special skills and like probably, I'm sure, like 8 to 10 stances or something. I don't know exactly how many. So if you do like one of those things and you want to use it and you want to fit it in, you're going to take a pretty bad stat hit. Is it a huge deal? No, but the game, at least for the first half, is pretty challenging. And I mean, sure, if you probably don't build mid-max like I guess I was going, will stay pretty challenging. So I kind of wish that the game wasn't as much about the build per se, while it's rewarding to get the level up, I feel like maybe just a general level that just scales stats and just kind of dictates how you explore. You know, should I go here when I'm under leveled, or should I just go somewhere easier? I feel like that's probably enough. That, and I feel like the fighting stances, I mean, I didn't test them for extended periods of time. They generally play very similar. It's just a variety of different speeds. And then the stats. And obviously the animations, but they still, like, you dodge to the left, you're still going to do like some kind of side hit or spin or something. It's just going to look different depending on the stance. It'll still come out relatively the same, so... I kind of wish the maybe just the stances or something didn't have stats. Because there's times where I was like, well, you know, I could get like 25% extra damage if I use this. And it doesn't play that different, but I do like this one a little more. I feel like just a game where you could like do both sets of stances at the same time and just weave between them. And maybe some kind of, maybe not a combo setup, but like more focus on utility. Like, I had a teleport move, but like, when do I ever want to teleport? I could just close the gap real quick. You know, I have a projectile, which I could use if I'm having a tough time, but when is there an enemy I really need to do that? I mean, I would finish dudes off, sure. Or, you know, you'd have like the drop kick, which would hit like a little bit of a dust thing in front of you, and that was useful. But why do a spin kick when I could just punch the guy and not be caught out? Maybe more AoE on that would feel good. I like that it's a methodical system, combat system about like your spacing and how far your move's gonna go. I think that's really fun. It's a lot better than the magnetized stuff you're gonna get in like a Horizon where you just mash. And especially when it's challenging, it makes it very rewarding to get like a mastery of, you know, like, oh, I can do this and I can dodge back and then I can go in for a hit. I think it's very fun and rewarding. I just think it's a little, there's just a lot of systems and little bits that I feel like are just sloppy or like they're not quite cohesive. It feels just like Eternal Cylinder. There's some really cool stuff there, and for the most part it works, but there's just like a lot of stuff that just doesn't pan out. And I think the problem with that is that, and the level design, is the games are all pretty long. This one, I don't know how long exactly. It was like 10, 15, 20 hours maybe, I don't know exactly. Especially 100%. Is that I feel like when certain systems aren't like meshing super well together, or that variety or the freedom isn't quite there, and the exploration hasn't really changed a whole lot, then by the end of that runtime you're kind of like, all right, you know, I'm about done, right? It hit a lot worse than Eternal Cylinder, despite that game being much more novel. I think the combat in this overall is pretty clean. It's interesting. If you like action games, it's definitely worth giving a try on that front. But yeah, the gear, the stats the gear gives isn't really even like a whole lot. I mean, you level up and you get like 3 to like 6 stats, and it's like the gear by the end is given, you know, 6, 7, 8. I mean, it matters, but really the stat jump, I feel like 2/3 in is pretty big. Most gears like 1 and 1, you know, so that's that whole system. It's not a big deal. I didn't use weapons at all. They'd auto-equip your weapons, but I feel like they sucked. They did worse. It's pretty bad when like Yakuza feels like it's got a better weapon system. And that game's not a super fun action game. It's a good brawler, but it's not a deep game. So I feel like maybe the weapons, I don't know if they actually scale with your stats at all, or what. Something where you could just flow a little bit better, where you could whip out a weapon on the fly. It could help with range, you know, maybe just a power thing with durability, at the cost of, you know, or maybe something, it's like something you just find, like maybe a guy has it and you can disarm him and use it or something. Like, I don't want it to just be like every other action game. I think what the game does well with the spacing and everything should be like capped, tried to be protected, but there's just so many things, like I said, the weapons and like all the different moves, and they just don't end up amounting to a whole lot. I mean, I picked Boxer and I just liked it all the way through. And I think a lot of the reason you might not even want to try it, regardless of whether the combat actually lets you swap on the fly, and whether animation or, you know, mechanics wise they actually have a use or a utility, is the upgrading. You have to upgrade your stances. I explore a lot. I would imagine more than most people do. Definitely not 100%, but I explore quite a bit. To the point where it kind of was like to the game's detriment, because I was just constantly R1ing on every little wall, and that's just not that interesting compared to like seeing something and exploring it, or looking, you know, for little secrets here and there that stand out. But I didn't upgrade all. I didn't get every single. Excuse me. I didn't upgrade every single skill. Like, just one set of skills. Like, forget about the other 5 or something. Forget about all the other stances. Like, if you just wanted to swap, yo, I got a new stance, I like this, you're not going to upgrade it. You might get close. You're still going to be able to beat the game. But when a big part of the game, I feel like, is the feeding of resources through exploration, which is what you spend all of your time doing, really. I would say most of your time is exploring. When what you're feeding it into, all of a sudden you're just going to throw it away for something that doesn't feel that different or doesn't fit that well into like a different build. It's hard to want to do that, you know. I could do it with the special skills a little bit, especially because I didn't use them much. It didn't feel as big a deal. But the stances, man, I was like, well, I'm already going all in on power. Why would I switch to something without power? I would just do no damage. So it's like I have a few options there. The Mammoth, the Boxer. But the Boxer's mixed, and like, oh, what if I got like a third one, right? You know, by the end of the game, I've spent so many resources. And I upgraded Mammoth to max and Boxer 1 from max. And it's like, that's all you technically really need, but it's like, is it really to the game's benefit? Is that RPG feeling that strong that the limitations on what you should be able to use is like worth it? I don't know. I think I'd be more butthurt about it if each stance really felt super different. And that you were just swapping in the middle of combat and using the utility and all that of each stance, you know, your advantage. Like, I mean, the Boxer I did use to my advantage there, like on the Golem fight, right? You know, I was like, I needed some more speed, I needed to dodge around more, and that was really fun. Versus the Mammoth's just power, but I don't know. I mean, I'd have to spend time, I guess, with the other ones, but I don't know. It just kind of has systems, and sometimes I feel like they work against like what would just be a very just tightly designed combat system. You know, if the level design was a bit more fun to explore at times, if there was more little areas to go to, I probably wouldn't have any issues with all the combat stuff. I mean, there's games like the old God of Wars or Musos that get away with having almost zero combat depth or anything, because they've, you know, set pieces or some other kind of guilty pleasure fan service or something. I shouldn't compare the old God of Wars with Musos. The old God of Wars have a little bit more depth than that, but yeah, this doesn't have like set pieces. This doesn't have those beats to make up for it, so it's like it's all combat. So I feel like for some of it to be a little sloppy, for some of the systems to not really be working together super well, it's kind of iffy. Still fun. I think the overall sound of design of the combat, the feel, the hits, they feel meaty, they feel good. I think it's a little too easy just to spin around guys and blast them all the time. They don't have a great answer for that at the Dark Souls approach. Why parry when you could just get behind a guy? And I think that's very easy to find. But I like the canceling. So you hit and then you dodge and it's a cancel, then you can do a new move. I think it flows really nice. It's still keeping it like methodical, right? They don't want it to be like Devil May Cry or something where it's like super, 10,000 different moves and you're juggling for 10 years. I like that a lot, but it's a different style here, right? If you get too many combos and too much canceling and stuff, it could turn into this kind of non-stop aggression fest, which it already kind of is, but things have to end and enemies have to be able to attack, and Otherwise, spacing and stuff wouldn't matter. Just be a Marvel vs. Capcom one-touch death thing. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, music and stuff. I mentioned sound design. Yeah, overall's good. Like I said, the voices and the combat felt nice. I guess before we get into music, I can talk about the animations. That has to do with combat too. I think the animations for just the general attacking were good. They felt nice. The animations for like the first person, which I get the first person was kind of just like almost like a reference. It was more just a super mode. That was like almost a reference to the first two games because that's how they kind of played. That was cute. Probably not as good a feel because you're just kind of wailing on the guy and they like kind of react. But the animations for the finishers, man, they fit. This game, it's to this game's benefit that jank and like sometimes poor stuff ends up fitting the bizarre nature of it. Because yeah, some of the animations are like so over the top and like crazy, or look kind of like jank, because they're not always like super smooth or anything. That it makes them fun and it makes them match this, and I don't know if that was really the intent exactly. But there's some where you're like flipping around a dude and then flying up in the air and then stomping on his head by holding his horns and shit, and it's like it feels less cool and more just like it's bizarre. But I mean, that's to the game's benefit, right? It could go either way. If they were trying either way, it would have worked. Whether it's intended or not, God knows, but hey, it works out. Yeah, music. Just like with everything else, the music comes in. The music feels like it's like sometimes badly used, but like that might just to make it be there to make it feel bizarre again. like there's times where the music will just start and it's just this vocals going off and like the story's not quite there, so you're like, what is going on? And then it'll just stop, or it'll just get going in a fight, then you'll end the fight, or you know, like the style. I mean, generally the style of the music's pretty cohesive, but there are times it'll just feel like, you know, somebody just licensed a track out of nowhere, and it'll just kind of catch you off a lot. Yeah, that's my thing. It's like I don't want to be that way because like it just happens to work out in their benefit. I think it was intended, and I think for the most part the songs that are there are pretty decent. I mean, some of them are just good, or some of them just are just interesting. They just give a feel. I feel like the lyrics in general, when you understand what they're saying, that's probably when it's a bit more bizarre. But when it's more just the going for the haunting kind of the female voices, like the song a little bit, you know, it gives it a different vibe. Haunting's probably not the best one. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, I feel like sometimes they're going for like, oh, this is the song for the really emotional moment, and they want it to be more of like a traditional feeling, like, you know, big, like, you know, musical emotional moment, and then like it doesn't feel that way. And I think I'm not the dev, so I couldn't know. Some of it feels like it's just probably poorly executed, even though they're going for that. But because the game is kind of bizarre and wacky, it works out. Those feelings of like, you know, this here or something, like that's kind of like what the whole visual design is. So I would like to think they've been making games for so long, it's probably kind of intended, just to give it an atmosphere, but who knows. I think stuff like the combat, it's harder to give that excuse, that cop-out excuse. Yeah. I think stuff like visuals and sound design, you could give it to them there. Obviously, mechanicals and stuff, like all the systems like that, those are just kind of problems. They don't lend themselves to any kind of a bizarre spectacle or anything. So, stuff with the story. Like, they're not, see, that's the thing, they're not going for like a full, just like, oh, you're walking around and somebody's talking to you, you know, like in the AAA world. But like, they kind of are. Sometimes, it's pretty rare. It's never enough, I feel like, to fully get like a rapport with someone and like a bond. But they do try to cash in one at the end and stuff, so it's like, you know, it definitely makes for a unique experience. Oh, that's another thing, another system. The dice game, I just stopped playing it halfway in. I just didn't care. That was like the big thing with the game. The dice battles would take longer than the fights, and the benefits you got from them weren't that good. Like, oh, the guy has like a wrap around him. It can help when it's really hard, right? It can make a big difference. Or like, he has like a slow poison, or you can get a free hit in. I'm like, it's not even worth the time. Maybe if the exploration and all that didn't feel as tedious as it did after a while, I'd be more okay with doing that. But I was kind of wanting to speed it up a little bit. I wasn't wanting to, you know, even after I was just doing a tedious exploration section, to do a, like, you know, 3-minute dice game. The dice game's not bad. There's some depth to it. You unlock all these different pieces, and you can definitely plan out what you want to do, but it just doesn't really matter. Even in the finale, when you just walk in with the Great Shield artifacts, and maybe you could do those without it. I don't know why you'd ever risk not using the Great Shield just to get a fucking like micro advantage. The game difficulty would have to be just perfectly just executed for you to ever take a risk like that. Like, the fights would have to be really hard. It was not a bad dice game, but it just doesn't work by the end of it. It just doesn't work with everything. Once again, like I said, it's just like Eternal Cylinder. There's just a whole lot of things, and none of them I say none of them. A lot of those things do not vibe well with everything else, or end up just being superfluous. And it's like, that's not a bad thing. I mean, exactly. As long as the core experience was still a good time, that's fine, right? I mean, I would prefer something that just tries all sorts of different stuff and ends up janky and unique, and like an old immersive sim or something, even if you don't see most of it. I think the problem in this game's case, though, is that it does get a little old by the end. It does, the pace, it needed some of these systems to work a bit more to keep the length juicy. If something else just gave the exploration, you know, the combat, like if something was just that little bit extra more, it would have been fine. But I think by the end, you're kind of like, yeah. I would say this is probably the best actual Xenoclash game, though. Maybe the first one's better. They're tighter campaigns than the first two, even if the second one's probably got an issue of length. But this one's definitely... I mean, at the time Xenoclash came out, I guess that was kind of a novel thing, the first-person combat. So in this way, I feel like there's a kind of an innovation in trying to make like a really crispy third-person combat thing here. It feels probably the best executed, the most like a full like real game, but it's still I like Ace Team's games, but none of them quite hit that, you know, the top tier, man. There's always something fucking off. Like, I'd recommend them because they're interesting, but like they're always there's like a certain slop to a lot of them. I don't know. Maybe slop sounds mean, but no. I'm about to see what other people think of this one. The read around. Yeah, I think that about covers everything. I don't know if you guys have any particular takes or things you want to talk about with the game. It probably wasn't a super fun one to watch because a lot of it's me just running around pressing R1 and in areas twice. It's like, it's a formula that I think they could really improve on this and make for a really cool second game, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think that's what Ace Team does. I hope it does well enough. I mean, I like the interesting worlds they make and shit. If you're not used to Xenozoic and Xenoclash, It probably, the novelty is probably a bit stronger with all the mutants and chimeras and shit. But I will say though, if you are used to it, Eternal Sunlight probably was a bit more novel to me. I really, like I said, I think they could have like developed Inazwik a little bit, especially because you're like fully exploring it in this one. Like I said, other than the town, every area feels like it's the same formula. Right? Where it's just a maze with a different coat of paint, maybe a few different mechanics like a little elevator. It's more vertical in the level design, but for the most part there's just goons laying around, and then at the end there's like a boss. This doesn't lend itself to their strengths, just the world design and I guess lore. Just the visuals. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I think that's it. We actually covered everything pretty good there, I suppose. I'm going to take a break. I might go get some food. I only had like a little bit of ice cream after that last break. Got a friend playing RE0 tonight. I'd like to watch some of that, but I might jump on FF14 here in a bit. Maybe we'll do a little bit of that, or I'll just chill. And we did finish this. Maybe we'll watch a couple episodes of something. But this is the month where the games are slowing down a bit, which means I gotta go in a backlog a bit more. I kind of want to keep grinding. I would say grinding. I just have fun playing, so there's just a lot I want to get to. So. Yeah, we'll see. I don't plan on being done for tonight though. FF14 was probably the next thing I was going to do. I don't think there's an event in FF14 later this month, so I'm going to go ahead and just cash in the old 3-4 days right now. I don't think we're going to use all 4. I'm just going to get to the story I haven't done yet, because I mean it just saves me money to just do it. Keep up to date. Do any new little stories or battles or something. Keep fresh with the game. But if there's some kind of grindy thing on the side, you know, I could put an episode of something up, but probably end up streaming it. Yeah, maybe we'll do a little combo night. No promises, but I do like that show. I want to watch some more, but also got the old stream addiction. There's a lot I want to get done this month. Returnal will probably be our next proper game. Or System Shock, the original, because the remake's coming out, but I don't think it's coming out for a bit, so like a month or something. Returnal's like a third-person roguelike thing. It's one of the few PS5, well, it used to be exclusives. Curious how that's, you know, I was curious how that is, so I want to try that out. Then we got other random stuff to do. I've got a lot to do. There's a lot of gifted games I want to get to. I mean, when people gifted them, they weren't like, oh, you gotta play them right now or something, but I've been sitting on some for a while. The Sin games, I don't know, those will get done when they get done. He's gifted too many, but Dragon Alliance, Legend of Grimrock, Rune Factory, Loop Hero, stuff like that. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna get to all those right away, but I would like to throw in one here and there. And I bought some games a while back that I still haven't played, so. Oh, really? I'll just wait then. I think I had it installed. Let me uninstall it. Yeah, that was another one I bought. Since I will be in the mouse and keyboard chair, I have a 2 setup set up. We might, like I said, do System Shock just because I'll be there. I did pick up some. I'll buy like stuff during these sales, and in the last couple of years I've made myself just not buy as much. I just really don't have the money. But yeah, I only got installed in this time. I bought games I really wanted to play in January of like last year, or of this year. I still haven't played them. I bought like Hades a long time ago. I still haven't played Hades. That was like in 2020. We need to do Baldur's Gate 2 at some point here as well. We got a lot we need to do. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm not in a rush. It'll just be a cool one to just chill and play. Yeah, I think considering just how many things we have to get to, I'm definitely thinking of cutting Hogwarts out for running. I think that game looks like everything I'd probably hate in a modern game. I think we're gonna not is the plan. Yeah, Hogwarts. No, Luna's Dice looks awesome. That's why I bought it. It just looks really like it looks like it's probably like a mindless fun time, but like I feel like it just has that aura to it. Where I know it's gonna borrow all of the shittiest Western AAA practices. The GPS, the collectathon, the surface level side quests. You know, probably a kind of whatever combat system. I've heard the combat's decent. Probably a really inoffensive, just basic story. You know, that same cookie cutter Ubisoft bullshit. I don't think it's supposed to be the longest game. I think it's like a 20 to 40. But god, dude, I'm so tapped out on. I've played so many of those, and they're just, I'm thinking about not doing it. If we have a bit sometime this year, and I'm just like, all right, nothing else. I mean, there's no way there's gonna be nothing else. But I'm just like, all right, you know, gameplay is it's dry right now. We'll just let it roll. Maybe I'll do it, but right now, dude, it's really hard to. Yeah, that's hard to justify it. I think it'd be interesting to talk about, but I think because the game was just so whatever, nobody's talking about it. So. I think the big thing is just, you know, keeping up to date and in a way with these big, like, I mean, it's like what, one of the top, the biggest selling game of the year in the last few years. So it's like kind of keeping up with those like big kind of, I want to say cultural things. It's kind of neat. The state of the industry and stuff. We get a lot of conversation out of that, but I don't know. I think we got enough ammo there. I mean, not that I would play it if it was like, I wouldn't play something like that just because if it was just bad or something. It's supposed to be good, but I don't know. I'm gonna keep putting that one on the back burner. Stuff like Theatrhythm and Final Bar Line, though, I really want to play. There's some new ones recently I'd like to go for. Otherwise, though, we've definitely got stuff I'm still renting, but in terms of new shit, I guess Cult of the Lamb's getting a physical release. I want to do Dredge, and I guess we'll do Jedi Survivor. And then really after that, it's Tears of the Kingdom and the Lord of the Rings Gollum. I just gotta find out on that game. That game looks horrible. I gotta know, though. I gotta see it. But those are gameplay games upcoming, and then I'll fit some stuff in between there, of course, with gameplay. Those are just new releases. I've got like 10, 20 plus games I've got in the gameplay backlog, so there's always something coming. And then of course Game Pass. I already kind of did some prep on Game Pass to make sure none of those would be leaving, but Citizen Sleeper I think is one we're gonna do soon. This month does get Ghostwire Tokyo, but I don't see that one leaving anytime soon. Yeah, I'm gonna play Raincoat. That'll be interesting. It'll be funny. Maybe it'll be good. I doubt it. But anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and take that maybe food break. Yeah, they did that. That was gifted to me already, so I'll just play that one out. But yeah. Anyways, I should have said overall what I thought on the game. I totally forgot to do that. Overall, I thought it was decent. I think it was decent. I think this is a game that's only gonna hit. What happens if I hit continue? Actually, a certain kind of person. I think the way they handle world exploration, and combat and stuff, could very easily. Can I explore everything right now? I think you could very easily not find this entertaining. It depends on how you feel about this kind of combat, but obviously the Bizarro feel of it is neat, but it's, you know, not gonna quite hit for some people. The exploration's probably gonna piss some people off. Stuff like that. But I think overall it's decent. I like the unique stuff they're trying to do. I like the feel of the combat. Like their other games, it's very crude. It's very rough around the edges. I think they could iterate on it and make something really cool. But they did not in this one. It's neat. It's probably worth the play if you like the other Xenoclash games. I would recommend if you're gonna play it though. Pick a style, stick to it, or don't invest too much. At a certain, I mean, you can upgrade styles at least like a third of the way in pretty easily, but maybe I would say don't worry too much about exploring. Just kind of keep it moving. I think it could get a little too tedious. I think the rewards they feel good when the game's got difficulty, but when it starts to get a little wonky, it falls off. I would say it's decent. It's hard to say, man, because part of it, I mean, a lot of it, there's a lot of issues, but like it's still cool. So I would say it's decent. I think it's interesting. I think it's worth a shot, but I wouldn't just recommend it to anybody. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. I should be back with some FF. Yeah, woo. Yeah, that's my action game of choice. We'll be playing the next version of, or the next sequel.